すみません、大変お待たせいたしました。それでは開会式が終わりましたので、帰国留学生総会第1部始めたいと思います。まずは皆様お忙しい中、日本にお越しくださって帰国留学生総会ご参加いただきありがとうございます。またオンラインでご参加いただいている方々もお忙しい中、また時差ある中ご参加いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。で、第1部のプレゼンを始める前に、来賓の方からご挨拶いただきたいと思います。まずは日本国際化推進協会から大村隆康様にご挨拶いただきます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Okay, good morning. So this is Takayasu Omura from JAPI, Japan Association for Promotion of Internationalizations. So since I'm here as a Japanese, so please let me talk in Japanese. すいません。改めましておはようございます。日本国際化推進協会、ちょっと漢字がばっかりですごく難しい名前ですけど、大村と申します。この帰国留学生総会の開催にあたりましては、外務省の皆さん、本当に毎年ご尽力いただいてありがとうございます。こちらの帰国留学生総会の立ち上げについて少しだけお話、共有させていただけたらなというふうに思うんですが、私たち日本国際化推進協会もですね、実は、日本に来ている留学生、特にですね、ネクストスカラーということで、国費留学生の皆様と一緒に作り上げた背景があります。で、最初はですね、日本の留学生のサポートをしようというふうに立ち上がった協会になっておりまして、この帰国留学生総会もなんと実は、帰国留学生の皆様からお声をいただいて、作り上げた、設立したものとなっております。で、遡ること2016年、もう10年前になってしまうんですけれども、10年前に安倍晋三先生に、こちらの会を開催をする、価値をですね、訴えかけたところ、ぜひやった方がいいというふうにお言葉をいただいて、少し時間は空いてしまったんですが、本当は2020年にやろうというところだったんですが、ちょっとコロナの関係もあったので、2021年にオンラインで開催することとなりました。こちらに関しては本当に外務省の皆様のおかげで実現ができていると思っております。またですね、この6回目ということで、6年も続けて開催できているのも本当に私も嬉しく思っております。はい、でこちらの会はもっともっとですね、日本の企業だとか日本の学生もですね、今後は交流できたらいいなというふうに思っていますので、ぜひ皆様今回参加をしていただいているとは思うんですけども、その中でプラスアルファこういう交流があったらいいなとか、あとはですねオンラインも含めてこんな方々と交流できたらいいなとか、そういったご要望があったら、もしぜひですねご意見とかもいただけたら、より会も盛り上がっていくんじゃないかなというふうに、すみません、勝手ながら外務省さんに怒られちゃうかもしれないですけど、勝手ながらそういうふうなことを思っていたりもしております。はい、なのでこちらの会を通してですね、おそらく今日明日に ASEAN の皆様も合流されるというふうに聞いておりますが、ぜひ、皆様同士の交流かつ、私たちも明日レセプションにも伺わせていただくので、ぜひ今回のこの参加を機にですね、どういったご意見だとかですね、どういった感想を持たれるかというふうにぜひ聞かせていただけたらなというふうに思いますので、まずはもう到着されて疲れていらっしゃると思いますので、少し休みの時間も取っていただいて、せっかく日本もちょっと先週までは暖かかったんですけど、今週少しですね冷える日が増えておりますが、明日も雨ですかね、はい、ちょっと雨がぽつりと降ってしまうんですが、ぜひちょっと久々の日本にはなってくるとは思うんですけれども、ぜひ楽しんでいただけたらなというふうに思います。はい、少し簡単ではございますが、また明日レセプションで皆様とお話できたらなと思いますので、ぜひ今回は楽しんでいただけたらなと思います。はい、すみません、簡単ですがご挨拶の言葉とさせていただきます。すみません、よろしくお願いします。
大村様ありがとうございました。続いて文部科学省国費留学生協会からスジャータサイニ会長からもお言葉いただきたいと思います。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Hello. こんにちは。おはようございます。So my Japanese is not good, so I will speak in English. I hope it's okay. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce the Max Scholars Association. It's an international student community with more than 15,000 plus members, including both current scholars and alumni. My name is Sujata, and I'm the current president of MSA. Many of you wondering what is MSA and what do we do? What is our vision? So whenever I talk about our association, people often say, "Oh, you are from Maxt. Can you give us scholarship?" So I laugh and I say, why not? But anyway, I always justify this, and I explain that MSA is a community created by international students for international students in 2016 by 3 people, and our founder is Austin and other co-founders. We have different kind of teams that working day and night effortlessly for international students in Japan. We have media, finance, external IT, and regionals. How do we support international students in Japan? We organize events such as podcast, networking session, and regional community meetups. We provide grants. For example, during COVID, many students who come to Japan face a lot of troubles financially, and we provide grants at that time. And second time, last year, when we gave the scholarship to those students whose lab does not provide funds for the conferences. And we share job opportunities, part-time job, full-time jobs, and internship during with our newsletters and our other Facebook and social medias. We provide important information about cross-border collaboration, such as JTAF, Japan-Taiwan ASEAN Forum, and our student community attend these events. Now our major mission is to support those international doctoral students whose PhD extended. Usually PhD takes more time, probably 50% of the students in Japan who are studying right now, international students, only 50% of them complete their PhD in 3 years, which means more students complete PhD in 4, 5, or more years. So we make sure that we provide at least some kind of financial support. So in the end, I want to say attracting foreigner students in Japan is very easy, but provide them jobs and make a comfortable environment for them and make them live here for a long time for Japan growth is much more harder. And we will do our best. Thank you so much.
スジャタ会長ありがとうございました。それでは第1部のプレゼン始めていきたいと思います。第1部のテーマは帰国留学生会の組織活動強化や地域連携に向けた取り組みと課題になります。帰国留学生会は会員のボランティアに支えられており、継続的に活動への参加を促すためには多大な努力が必要なため維持が難しい面があります。このような状況を踏まえ、皆さんは活動を維持活性化するためにどのような取り組みを行っているのか、またどのような課題に直面しているかについてお聞かせいただければと思います。また国境を越えて地域内で他の帰国留学生会と連携した経験がある場合はそちらについてもお伺いできれば幸いです。それではトップバッターとしてパキスタンからお越しのアヤズ・ヤサルさんにプレゼンいただきたいと思います。ヤサルさん、お願いいたします。
皆さんおはようございます。So, パキスタンのヤサルと申します。So, the interest of being able to communicate effectively the whole points, I'll speak in English. I can try to merge a little bit of Japanese in it as well, and I feel like doing it today, but I think that, I'll be more comfortable and you'll be more comfortable if we make it in English. So the first part of today's conference, the theme on which I'll be also, structuring my talk, around which I'll be structuring my talk, is strengthening and organizing the activities of Japanese alumni associations and promoting regional cross-border cooperation, the challenges and opportunities. So, I put two photos, representative photos of Japan and Pakistan, and we all hope to see sakura. We wish that they bloom a little bit earlier, and we are able to see some of them here while we are still here. So I was a student at Tohoku University in Japan, in Sendai, from the year 2005 to 2009, and I graduated with a PhD in artificial intelligence and robotics. Oh. Sorry for this technical glitch. So, starting off, this is just a little bit of introduction about me. So on the left, you can see me during my PhD years when I was studying in Japan. So I was working on Ningen Gata Roboto with humanoid robots. And my major was, how to make humanoid robots survive in normal human environments. And I did my PhD in 2009, and during my PhD years also, I was very active in volunteer roles with the Pakistan Student Association of Japan. I started out as the coordination secretary, and back in the year 2006, I think, and then I became the the Secretary General, and basically Secretary General and Vice President are the same position in the Pakistan Student Association. So in that capacity as well. So I'll be briefing a little bit about the activities I did there as well, and how these eventually helped me in translating the activities to the Mambo-Kugakshu Alumni Association of Pakistan, which is the next part, which, after 2009 when I returned to Pakistan, how I was able to communicate to the, the embassy and to the other international students, and how I was able to communicate with, the relevant officials and have some activities of the society. So I've had three roles, like 3 times I have had office, and now this is the 4th term actually, so during different times in my presence in Pakistan after my graduation. And in my professional roles as well, I have been leading the Department of AI and Robotics at NUST. So I have been lucky to receive the Presidential Award in Pakistan, the Presidential Award for Pride of Performance, which is, I think, only 3 graduates from Japan have until now received in Pakistan. So I'm lucky in that. And in my current role, I'm the chairperson of the National Center of Artificial Intelligence, which is not just in my university, but it's actually across 6 universities and in various locations in Pakistan. And my job is to centrally coordinate all the activities related to AI and its deployment and its R&D and local algorithm development. So it's a lot of fun activity that I keep doing. So just a little bit about the kind of stuff that I do regularly at my job. So this is like the locations where my centers are, and we keep making products, and many times the applications you see physically deployed in Pakistan. So I'm making use of the studies that we did in Japan and applying this to Pakistan. Recently, the embassy also organized an event where I introduced some of these activities. So for example, some of the algorithms related to the safety of citizens in Safe City, these are made by my center. In healthcare, I'll show you recently that we've been working with Juntendo University here in Japan and collaborating to make some software for assisting the elderly here in Japan as well. And there are several other software, and in several other applications related to Bukkyo, related to Buddhism. We have been recreating a lot of the lost heritage, which is there in India and Pakistan, because Buddhism originated in India and Pakistan. So we have been recreating a lot of sites, the ancient sites where, which are now destroyed, but, they're very significant for people who believe in Buddhism. So we have very extensive models in which AI is also integrated, and you can interact with, like monks inside the simulations and discuss with them about Bukkyo and also about the history of the region. So several other applications like that. Now coming to the topic. So the alumni ecosystem in Pakistan consists of several key pillars. So the first pillar, as I mentioned, is the Pakistan Student Association of Japan, and this is where the interaction of the students, begins right when they enter into the right when they enter into the scholarship, when they get selected and when they come into Japan. So we have a group called PSAJ Alumni, Pakistan Student Association Alumni, in which we make sure to add the students right at the time that they actually graduate, right? That they actually enter into the scholarship. And actually, when they come to Japan, they're already part of the group. So not when they graduate, but when they actually come for the scholarship to Japan, we actually add them there. So the group strength is right now around 460. And later on, when the students actually, they keep working in Pakistan Student Association, when they come back to Pakistan, and some of them also go to other places in the world, all of them remain connected through that web forum. And those who come back to Pakistan become part of the Max Alumni Association of Pakistan, which is MAP. Now, we call it the Max Alumni Association of Pakistan, but it has students beyond Max as well. So as people who have done their PhDs or masters or undergrad or any sort of association with the university, whether they're postdoctoral scholars, if they have spent at least 1 year in Japan on any scholarship, they are eligible to become part of the Max Alumni Association. But when the association was formed, it was named like this, and this is the official association registered with the embassy as well. So the name of the association has remained the same. So also, we closely work with SAFJUA, and I think Dr. Pawan, you will also speak about this later on during the presentations. We have a good network of the 6 countries in the South Asian region in which we do some of the activities together during the year. And we are lucky that we have interacted earlier as well. He has visited in Pakistan too. And recently, there is another association which is also active, which is the JICA Alumni Association. This is not of students who study in Japan, but people who have undergone technical trainings for short periods of time, but we have interactions from time to time. So I quite extensively work with JICA in Pakistan as well. So many times they bring together people who have trained in Japan and who are now working with projects in Pakistan, and how we can, have with the qualifications we've gotten in Japan, how we can assist JICA in their projects in Pakistan and their implementation. So coming to the Pakistan Student Association of Japan, my first role as the volunteer. So the society was established in April 2002 in Tokyo, actually to work as the central platform for Pakistan students. But at the time that I joined Japan in 2005, and when I became an office bearer in 2006, most of the activities, we were all members of the web group of the Pakistan Student Association of Japan, but most of the activities were centered around Tokyo. And there was hardly, much activity or formal presence of the society was not there in many other cities of Japan. So one of my first contributions was to expand the society to other cities of Japan. And during the 2-year tenure, first as coordination secretary and then as the secretary general, I expanded the society with formal sections in 22 cities of Japan, right? So we were working very closely with people, and recently we've had people who've held president of positions for the Pakistan Student Association of Japan, who also not from Tokyo, but based in different cities like Saitama and other cities as well, right? So there are several activities. We have all been doing similar kind of activities, I think, but still, just for the sake of mentioning it, a lot of social gatherings, barbecues and New Year parties and stuff where we have good student integration, participation in university festivals and representing the culture and the activities from Pakistan, there, and cultural events and exhibitions, cricket matches. When there is Pakistan, we can hardly stay without playing cricket. So cricket matches and recreational sports. Recently, these were the things that we were doing even when I was there in Japan. And recently, the current management, they've expanded the scope of the society, and they're doing several other things in the era of social media, especially. So they are doing, seminars, research talks, and Pakistan-Japan academic collaborations. They've got a pretty good following now internationally as well. And again, people who ask Madam for scholarships also ask Pakistan Student Association of Japan to keep telling them about scholarships. So we have seminars guiding people about how to apply for Japanese scholarships. And this has actually resulted in the sharp increase in the number of applications in Pakistan, which we've seen. So I've been working with the embassy for around 16 years now for selection of the students. So I think around 15 of those years I've been part of the interview panels as well, right? So there's the sharp increase in not just number of applications, but also the quality of applications. It becomes more and more difficult every year to pick the right candidates to send to Japan. So also, here are some glimpses of the activities. So on the right top, you can see this is me actually. So we had a little music band which we had together with Japanese and other foreign students as well. And we went around various matsuris presenting, and we were actually pretty popular. So this is basically, we mazete bunka mazete masne. So like some rock with some Pakistan dento tekina instruments. Yes, some old instruments. We were mixing them together. And of course, like you can see that several activities from Osaka University, from Hiroshima University, from Tokyo as well. So one of the key points to actually register here is that, when students from Pakistan or from other Muslim countries come to Japan, many of the problems they face are unique. Like, for example, they cannot eat every, food. They have to look for halal food specifically. And when you come to Japan, you don't know where anything like that is. So for better orientation of the students, one of the activities we started was that we actually used to receive the names of the students who would be coming to Japan from the embassy and meet them on day one, at their doorstep. And then we would take the students with us to the right mise, to the right shop, so that they can, they can have the first meal in Japan with us. And also, we help them buy the halal food and stuff like that. So we stayed connected with the new students coming into Japan right from the beginning. This is the activity still going on. In some of the cities in Japan where there were no students from Pakistan already present, so we relied on the help of the Muslim Student Association of Japan, that they would nominate one person and we would communicate with other societies. So we were extensively working in close collaboration with the Tohoku University Muslim Cultural Association and also the Muslim Student Association of Japan, so that we could get the right persons nominated and assist the students in their first days. There were several activities, but there isn't so much time, so I would skip, how this was really beneficial. But this has actually helped us foster deep and intimate connections with the students to offer, support. And, the students with whom we started early were actually very, very actively working with us even until now. So now coming to the Mambuka Gakshu Alumni Association of Pakistan, which is the current society that I am the vice president of. So this is my third term as the vice president. And I'm happy to share with you that at the end of the first term that we had, we were actually awarded the Foreign Minister's Commendation as the society as well, right? So this is the official alumni body connecting Pakistani scholars, professionals, and researchers who studied or worked in Japan, particularly under the Japanese government MEC scholarship programs or any other funding program, but they must have spent at least 1 year in a Japanese university setting, yes? And this was established in March 1996 in Islamabad with the support from Embassy of Japan, and it has been recognized for its role in the educational and cultural exchange. So we do several kind of activities, and we are present, like in the beginning when we actually took oath as, the office bearers in 2017, we had around 60 odd members. Of course, spread around different places in Pakistan and, with major concentration in Islamabad. And I thought the major issue with, why the membership was limited to 60, even though I had a lot of more members in the PSAJ alumni group at that time. We were administering another, because I was member of PSAJ, I am still one of the most active. Me and another person in Tokyo, we operate the whole group for the PSAJ, right? So we had so many members, but few of them were actually becoming part of the official alumni association. And the reason was probably that many of them were not located in Islamabad. They were physically located elsewhere, and most of our activities were physical, and they were all located and centered around the capital, around Islamabad. So we expanded the network of the Mambuka Gakshu Alumni Association during our first tenure. At the end of the 2 years of the first tenure, we expanded this to 2 new sections that we added. So now we have regional chapters of MAP. And this was one of the key factors which helped us raise the membership from 60 to more than 230 within 2 years. Yes? So I think this was one of the success stories. So now we have the central chapter in Islamabad, which oversees the entire operation of the Mambuka Gakshu Alumni Association. And we've got chapters in Lahore, which look after the entire province of Punjab. And we've got another section in Peshawar, which look after the entire section activities in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region, which is the northwestern frontier region of Pakistan. Recently, just this year, a few weeks ago, we've also formally inaugurated, it was already beginning to form and activities were going on, but we have also formally inaugurated the third regional chapter, which is in Karachi, in Sindh, right? So now the membership is close to 300 now. So just a glimpse of some other activities that we keep doing in the embassy in Islamabad and also with the Consulate General in Karachi. We have got 2 representations, and we keep doing alumni gatherings, regular meetups, orientations for prospective Japan-bound students. We have like several cultural activities that we organize, for example, Japanese calendar exhibitions, and many times we participate in the activities organized by the embassy. Sometimes we organize the activities ourselves, like the calendar exhibitions and maybe the flower arrangement and stuff like that. So some of the activities we organize ourselves as well. So also we keep participating with the Japanese companies. Like for example, on the left bottom, you can see that we support this. This was the Toyota booth actually, in which we showcase some of the research done by the Japanese scholars who've been, working in Pakistan. So they were formally part of the booth of Toyota to present the kind of technology that we made. So and also we closely work with so this is in the center. This is my presence in the group photo. So I'm also right now the specially appointed professor with Tohoku University in Japan. So we keep working with that connection to guide new students, because there are scholarships other than MEXT as well. So the university also offers their own positions. So we keep introducing those positions. And time to time, we've taken students from Pakistan to Japan to introduce the university environment. And we've been assisted by, the Sakura program, with which we could apply and take students to Japan sometimes. And with this kind of activities, we hope that we'll engage more and more better students to come to Japan to cast a better impression of the activities that we do in Pakistan too. We closely collaborate with the other associations like SAFJUA, the South Asian Federation of Japanese University Alumni Associations, gives us the opportunity to integrate and closely work with other alumni associations in the region, in the South Asian region, including Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and we work and Myanmar as well. So we work very closely with them. So the regional network established on December 6, 2005 by Japanese Alumni Association for these 5 South Asian countries. The SAFJUA promotes cultural, academic, and alumni cooperation across South Asia. We have regular meetings in SAFJUA, and also at least one major event every 2 years, which is regarding the Japanese speech contest. And we also have a research seminar in which we share the activities. So this is how we also have a group on which the leadership of the associations is connected. So we are already on the same group as well, where we keep sharing about the activities that we are currently doing. And I think I share a lot of videos of my activities with the embassy in the group as well. I keep spamming the group with that stuff. So also another unique thing that we have, because as I mentioned that working in Japan, I was very closely working with a lot of alumni from other countries as well, right? We are still very well connected. So beyond the region also. So for instance, in one time when I got the opportunity to co-organize or play a major role in organizing the robotics challenge in Tashkent, Uzbekistan with the OIC, I was able to get the Japanese alumni from Egypt and Malaysia to help me as the judges and to make the event. So we had a notable presence of Japanese alumni, and we introduced it like that. So it was a collaborative activity with Japanese too. So the ecosystem forged through lifelong connections by the Japanese alumni associations and the international academic networks can play a powerful role in fostering cross-border collaboration, capacity building, and global community development. And this can play a major role, and we can build on this and learn from each other in how to take this further. I look forward to listening to your presentations as well, and to get more ideas about what kind of stuff we can do. We are actively working on some of the stuff that we are working on right now. So we have extensive work going on with JICA. So recently we organized a conference in which we had members from all the JICA projects taking place in Pakistan from various regions, and we had Japanese alumni over there to connect relevant alumni with the relevant JICA projects, so that what they've learned in Japan can directly go into the JICA's activities. We will also participate in the Japan IT Week. So we will be here again in April. So we will be representing there as well and integrating some activities. We also have collaborative activities with Juntendo University, which has been extensively covered with NHK TV in Japan as well. And this is one of the first products, or medical product, that has been accepted in Japan. Its clinical trials are going to begin in June of 2026, and my team is working extensively for this. So we've also inaugurated a lab called the Ikigai Lab, the AI for Ikigai Lab in my university, in which we are working for this kind of products, right? So, arigatou gozaimasu, and I look forward to your comments and suggestions, and I hope to learn from all of you. Thank you.
ヤサルさんありがとうございました。トップバッターで緊張されたかと思いますけれどもありがとうございました。それではヤサルさんのコメントに対してエチオピアからいらっしゃったイサイアスさんにコメントいただきたいと思います。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
Thank you so much, Yasar. It was very wonderful presentation. I just want to know you have expanded your alumni within Japan in 22 places, and you have also the South Asian. So how were you able to do this? Can you share us something regarding this?
I think that especially as the note of the conference also says that particularly for volunteers, because people are usually busy in other activities, while in Japan also studying for PhD or masters is a very extensive work. And back at home as well, so people are engaged in their professional activities. So it has to be very personal. You have to be very well connected personally with the relevant people, and at least the major active people in every area. You must have, the yeast if you want to make the pizza, and if you want to make the right dough. So you must find at least a few active people in different regions, be very well connected to them on a personal level, so that they can actually contribute and work with you when it comes to the professional level. So I'll give you one example. So in one incident, when some students from Malaysia were there in our city, and they had some medical problem, and like one of the ladies who was pregnant, she was actually having a miscarriage, and it was an emergency at that point in the night, right? So it was our association's connection that worked very rapidly that helped them get to the medical help in time, because they were just new in Japan. They didn't know about applying to anybody. And of course, the wife, she was not on the proper visa. She was on the tourist visa, right? So she didn't have proper medical support as well. So sometimes, like the kind of personal help that you do, the guys that we worked with, there was myself, there was another guy from Egypt, there was another lady from Turkmenistan, and all of them were just, connecting together to help these persons. We are all still very well connected, right? So it is the personal connection that we build in Japan, and which, lasts longer and contributes to the activity later on as well. I think that's the key point. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm also extremely impressed with the fact that you're bringing the new entrants, the new scholarship recipients, and trying to acclimate them to the Japanese culture and where they can get some of the halal food and so on, because this is not an easy challenge. So I'm really impressed by that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If I may ask a question, that was absolutely fantastic presentation. I mean, especially going from 60 to 200 just through regional, genius idea. As well, the workings with JICA and the kind of putting professionals with projects is really fascinating. My question is more just kind of about overall how you finance the different events you do and the different engagement you do. I think that'd be really interesting to hear about.
So in the Mombogakyo Alumni Association of Pakistan, it's still mostly through voluntary contributions. Like whenever we do an activity, so we raise finances for that activity. So we used to do a similar thing in PSAJ as well. But with PSAJ, we evolved a whole different model. Because with the cultural activities that we were doing, we were able to generate a lot of interest of Japanese people in the activities that we were doing. And many times when they would come, they would contribute a small fee. For example, when they were coming to a cooking class, they would pay a small amount of money for the ingredients and stuff. And we would save a small amount over a period of time that eventually contributed to the funds of the society. So we don't have any kinds of officially allocated fund. We didn't have for the PSAJ or for the Muslim associations or for the Mombogakyo Alumni Association. It's mostly through voluntary contributions that we raise in our own activities. And I hope that the model that we were able to make, in Japan for the Pakistan Student Association of Japan and also for the Tohoku University Muslim Cultural Association, maybe we can do the same thing in Pakistan for Mombogakyo Alumni Association. Of course, it is harder in the sense that we have to be regularly organizing those activities, and it has to be a monthly thing at least, so that the other people keep getting engaged with the same activity. But that's the future that I think could work for us.
Thank you.
皆様ありがとうございました。他にご質問ある方いらっしゃいますか？じゃなければ時間になりましたので、ヤサルさんの発表を終わりにしたいと思います。ヤサルさん、改めてありがとうございました。それでは次はスイスからお越しのシュテファニー・サンチさんにプレゼンを行っていただきます。シュテファニーさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
So, good morning. 皆様、こんにちは。本日はこのような貴重な機会をいただき誠にありがとうございます。I will also present in English, but the slides will be mostly in Japanese. My name is Stefanie Sanchi. I'm the president of the Kizuna Network of Switzerland. This is the Japanese Alumni Association of Switzerland. I'm honored to be speaking here today alongside my colleagues of everyone here in this panel, especially of Pakistan and Portugal. Let me introduce myself first. I'm a postdoctoral researcher in East Asian art history at the University of Zurich, where much of my work concerns the direction of image-related Japanese studies in Switzerland. I was fortunate to have stayed in Japan twice, so in 2014 at Doshisha University and in 2019 and 2020 in Yokohama during my PhD studies at the Stanford International University Center. And I first joined Kizuna in 2011, and I've been president since 2024, taking over from my predecessor, Jérôme Nicolas. And it was also around that time that I had the great pleasure of meeting Omura-san. Kizuna means bond in Japanese, and we try to live up to that. We regularly bring together former students and researchers who have studied, researched, or worked in Japan. At an event hosted by the Japan Information and Cultural Center, JICC, at the Japanese Embassy in the Swiss capital of Bern. Kizuna was established in January 2007, when a small group gathered at the residence of General Consul of Japan in Geneva to discuss setting up a network of former Japanese government scholarship receivers. Given the relatively small number of MEXT, that is the Japanese government scholarship students from Switzerland, the network also welcomes members who studied or have worked in Japan through private funding or through other programs. And we currently have around 150 members across all 4 language regions of Switzerland, so German, French, Italian, and Romansh speaking, and of course also expats speaking English. That diversity shapes much of what I will talk about today, how we work with it, and where it takes us. We keep Kizuna going through formal events, but also through casual get-togethers and everyday digital contact. Our main event is the annual Kizuna meeting at the JICC, which tends to draw around 20 to 30 members each year. At this gathering, usually in spring, selected members give short presentations from their own fields. We encourage this because our group spans natural, social, and cultural sciences, education, business, and more. At our March 2025 meeting, so pretty much a year ago, for instance, we heard about advanced reactor research, about an exhibition linking the Swiss painter Albert Anker with Japanese art, and a high school exchange students' year in Japan. And this diversity is something we actively cultivate. Our members come from different linguistic backgrounds, hold different professions, and are of different age, and had a multitude of experiences in Japan. And we see that as a strength. The network does not revolve around one discipline, and members learn from each other in ways they would not within their own professional circles. We also use the annual meeting as a bridge between past and future MEX student scholars. Each year, we invite incoming MEX scholarship recipients, so those who are about to leave for Japan, to join the gathering. this gives them the opportunity to meet former mixed students and the wider community, to ask questions, to receive practical tips, and sometimes even make their first contacts with Japan before their departure. This year, for example, we're making sure that Ms. Humo, who will soon be heading to Japan, can attend. It is a wonderful way to pass on experience and to welcome new members into the network from the very start. After the meeting, in the last couple of years, we were generously invited into a reception at the ambassador's residence. The close partnership with the embassy and with the JICC is one of Kizuna's great assets. It gives the network institutional grounding and visibility that complements what we do as volunteers. We also hold informal gatherings, such as a cherry blossom viewing or hanami party. Switzerland is a small country, and the connections within Kizuna do reflect that. They are personal and direct. Members know each other, and newcomers are welcomed into personal and welcoming groups. For a network of our size, this closeness really is one of our defining qualities. And between events, members stay in touch through digital tools, so WhatsApp and LinkedIn. These are spaces where we are asking each other about questions regarding to Japan, work, travel. The day-to-day contact is really what keeps the network going and alive between these formal events. Of course, running such a network does not come without challenges. I would like to address them in this round, as together we might discover ways of dealing with them. One challenge is sustaining engagement. Like every association, Kizuna depends on its members' willingness to contribute their time, to keep in touch via email, to react to questions, to take time out for annual gatherings. And we are fortunate to have this general support of the JICC, which provides the organizational framework and hosts our main events. Such partnership, in my view, is really essential, but the day-to-day life of the network, for example, members supporting each other, sharing contacts, showing up, happens on a voluntary basis. And maintaining that kind of engagement over years requires ongoing attention, particularly for members whose time in Japan was a long time ago. And another challenge at which I hinted earlier is language and geography. With 4 national language and strong regional identities, reaching all members equally takes thought. We communicate mainly in English, our lingua franca, sometimes in French and in Japanese. But we understand that while this serves the majority, it does not cover everyone. And while our members' diverse backgrounds are a clear strength, they do add to the complexity of practical decisions, for example, choosing topics, finding locations for informal meetings that work across the regions. And the third challenge, in my view, is engaging across generations. Our most active members tend to be those who returned from Japan in recent years, as well as those whose current occupation maintains working connections with Japan. And for those whose stay was decades ago, the connection can become less immediate. And at the same time, younger potential members may not always see what an alumni network can offer them, especially in business contexts that rely on cultural competence. I would be very interested to hear how other associations handle this reaching and bridging of both groups. Kizuna currently has no formal partnerships with Japan alumni associations in neighboring countries. As a non-EU member with its own institutional landscape, Switzerland does not have the same shared framework that might make cross-border cooperation between alumni associations more straightforward, as our European Union affiliated neighboring countries do. Where cross-border exchange does happen, however, is at the academic and professional level. Switzerland's multilingual makeup means that our members have multifold ties to the surrounding regions of France, of Germany, of Austria, and of Italy. And through conferences and research networks, our members regularly engage with Japan-related communities in other countries. However, this takes place through shared intellectual or professional work, not necessarily alumni organizations like Kizuna as such. To give a concrete example, the week after this Congress, I will be in Vancouver for the Association for Asian Studies annual conference, speaking on a roundtable called Building Global Networks to Address the Challenges Facing Japan Studies. It's between March 12 and 15. That kind of forum, where people from different countries work on shared questions about the future of Japan-related fields, is where cross-border collaboration happens more naturally for us. And my involvement there comes particularly from my role at the University of Zurich, and also partly from the networks that I have built over the years, such as through the Stanford Inter-University Center, which was a Japanese language program for advanced researchers. But while these various institutions are not formally connected, I do see it as part of my role, and I think this also reflects our spirit in this room, to bring insights and contacts from these settings back into Kizuna, into our alumni associations, and to the field of Japanese studies in general, so that our members benefit from them as well. And this Congress, of course, is another example of the same principle. And so I would welcome the chance to stay in contact with fellow alumni associations also after today. This could take the form of occasional exchanges, of shared information, of participating maybe in digital social networks of different kinds, or simply knowing whom to reach out to. Looking ahead, what I think about most is not just Kizuna as a network, but what we can do for Japanese studies in Switzerland more broadly, and maybe also internationally. We are a small country, and the number of people working in Japan-related fields is limited. But that means the connection we build through Kizuna matters even more. Not only for the people involved, but for keeping the field itself visible and alive. In practice, that can look quite simple. And my previous speaker already introduced that in the case of Pakistan and South Asia, it's really about this personal involvement. Members share something from a conference. Someone connects a younger colleague with a contact in Japan, or points to a funding opportunity they have come across. And none of that requires a formal program. It happens because people know each other, and because they want to help each other. But over time, it really does add up. And it supports Japanese studies in ways that go well beyond what any single university, institution, or even association can do on its own. So the direction I see for our local, but also for Japanese alumni networking overall, are first, expanding our digital reach so that members in all regions can take part. Second, building closer ties with other Japan-related networks and with alumni associations in neighboring and international countries. And third, continuing to mix formal and informal events, because a network only works if people actually look forward to being part of it. I think what we already saw shows that also passion that happens at these events. If we do that well, our alumni associations can be real resources for the future of Japanese studies in our respective regions and maybe even beyond. I look forward to exchanging ideas with others here today on how we get there. I'm also grateful for the inspiration and the ideas my fellow participants and the event provide today and that have already provided yesterday evening. I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to our discussion. 皆様との意見交換を楽しみにしております。ご清聴いただき誠にありがとうございます。
ステファニーさんありがとうございました。まさに会の名前通り絆を感じるプレゼンテーションいただきましてありがとうございます。それでは、ステファニーさんのプレゼンに対しては、ボスニア・ヘルツェゴビナからお越しのアレクサンダルさんからコメントいただきたいと思います。アレクサンダルさんお願いします。
Okay. Thank you, Stephanie, for your wonderful presentation. And today I learned that in Switzerland there are not only 3 languages I thought before, German, French, and Italian. Today I heard that Romansh also is speaking. And how many, I would like to ask you, how many people in Switzerland actually are speaking Romansh, and do you understand Romansh if somebody is speaking Romansh? So I will also later have some discussion with you.
Thank you very much first for your kind words and also for this interesting question. It is true that in Switzerland, I think our identity is not through our language, so we always try to find ways to communicate in different ways with people from a different language region, sometimes finding one language that the other speaks or a third language that both speak because we don't speak each other's languages. And with Romansh, that's sometimes the case. Romansh is only spoken by 0.5% of the population. Given our small country of 7 million approximately, that's not many people, but still it is one of the cultural values that is upheld, and I think it has the place. It takes very little part in the Kizuna meetings.
Okay. Are there some different ways and scholarships through which Swiss students went to Japan?
So, as I mentioned, there is, of course, the mixed studentships, and I think there's usually one maximum of 2 people going to Japan through mixed, but there's a lot of different ways in which we send our students to Japan. Some are university funded. Personally, I was also, personally the first time I went to Japan was through a university agreement between Doshisha University and University of Zurich, and then the second time I received alumni funding from the Inter-University Center in Yokohama, and also the Nippon Foundation in that case. So as you see, it's always different players for different situations as well. There's also students that go into technical training, which then is also funded again through other means.
Thank you very much.
アレクサンダルさん、ありがとうございました。アルマさん、どうぞ。
All right. Thank you very much. It's been a very interesting story to hear. I've also heard from my good friend from Pakistan's talk, and it's what is coming up is the cross-border linkages and trying to get people. For the individual countries, it's much easier to get a list of people who have been on these programs from the embassy, and it's really difficult to find out who in your neighbor. I mean, I come from Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria. I don't know who has come. Is it possible? Probably it could be a good suggestion if there's some compilation of the regional bodies where we can assess that information in terms of the name and then the university and the studies, so that if there's going to be collaboration, it's much easier to link directly and try to find out. So probably that's maybe one of the suggestions that I want to put forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very good point, and I think it would be interesting to discuss more broadly with the group as well. Regarding the names and affiliation of Kizuna, of course, because it's not only a university related, we do keep a list, and we also invite interested people from the outside. So if someone is organizing an event and they look for a particular person with interest in music or in sake brewing or with some kind of expertise, they can contact us, and then we share that information directly. We do not publish the membership online because also of confidentiality. So I think there's these 2 discussions to be had, but I very much agree that we should also compare kind of the makeup of our groups, and this can be done in different ways. Thank you so much.
イサヤさん、どうぞ。
Thank you, Stephanie, for the great presentation. Some of the words that you have mentioned resonate with my challenge. So you've mentioned like sustaining engagement. And the second one is bridging the generations. So what lessons can you share with us in terms of dealing with this challenge? Because it just clicked with what I'm facing now. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you again. Another really great question, and I think I'm only able to answer it partially because it's so complex. I do find that our annual gatherings are an incredibly valuable resource. Not everyone takes part, of course. Out of the 140, 150 members we have, I think this year the biggest group ever, about 34, have signed up for our late March meeting, and I'm looking forward to meeting them then. But these are really the opportunities when we get to talk to each other, and maybe we also lower a little bit of these hurdles, especially regarding the generations. Sometimes someone who has not yet been to Japan or has been for a shorter time or only once might feel a little bit intimidated of making a professional connection with someone who has worked in Japan for decades, who knows the language very well. And I think it's really about really lowering those thresholds of ensuring that we both understand each other. And I think we can learn from both ways. Yeah, thank you so much.
ありがとうございました。他に質問ある方いらっしゃいますでしょうか。大丈夫ですか。もしあればじゃあネパールからこのバッタライさんどうぞ。はい。
Thank you, Stephanie, for your nice presentations. I have just a small question. As 2004, I remember correctly, the alumni meet has recommended to form the regional platforms. That's why we have generated established the SAFJUA in 2005 based upon that recommendation. So what do you think there is a potential for establishing global coordination network of Japanese University Alumni Network? What do you think, your view on that one?
Sorry. Thank you. Again, a good question. Let me think how to answer it. So I think global coordination is really crucial for, like today, you know, facilitating this kind of events, bringing people together, also for the communicational infrastructures, because we're all doing great things and there's a lot of passion and a lot of time invested in it. But we can also rely on each other to already share some of the resources we've created, be that, you know, meeting formats, be that ideas about how to get funding, etc. I think that should really be the role of global organizations like that. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
バッタライさんありがとうございました。ステファニーさんもありがとうございました。それでは時間になりましたので、ステファニーさんのプレゼンの番を終わりにしたいと思います。ステファニーさんありがとうございました。続いて3人目の発表に移りたいと思います。3人目はポルトガルからお越しの、ジョア、ペドロ・ダ・シルバ・アルメイダさんからコメント。
invitation お招き、ありがとうございます。九州ながら日本語でのプレゼンテーションが難しく、英語で失礼いたします。ご自称ください。My name is Pedro. I represent JPAC, which stands for Japan-Portugal Alumni Group. Actually, after the presentations of my colleagues, I feel a bit depressed. For one reason, I was not a scholar, so JPAC follows a different direction, totally different direction. As Stephanie mentioned, we are just small countries, and the numbers, of course, are different. And here, of course, I'm very eager to learn more than presenting and saying things. Although I'm one of the founders of JPAC, I was a chat participant in the 90s, which makes me probably the oldest person in this group, right? And quite back in the past. And at that time, the governor of Nagasaki, I was living in Nagasaki in the 90s, made me make a promise that I would always promote Japan for the rest of my life. So that's what probably brings me to this room today. I just use JPAC as the first, method to expand and promote the Japanese culture in Portugal. Because unlike, again, your associations, our scholars are very independent. And so I don't know exactly how many you have, but it's a struggle. I have to struggle a lot to bring people together, to have creative events. So again, mainly, we just follow a more cultural approach. Let me just go, this is just a JPAC overview. And in numbers, I don't know exactly what they represent in an international context, again. But I just brought this information, though. We have always a wonderful support from the Japanese embassy in Portugal, and so we have some regular events and the embassy is always eager to promote our events as much as they can. We have some regular events here, for example, in April, which corresponds mainly to the Japanese fiscal year. We have a scholar, student, she's studying in Kyoto, and we have first this conference with her, live from Kyoto, so she's so kind to be awake at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning because of time difference. And so we'll invite her to talk about what it's like to be working, studying in Japan. And to attract, we just invite many students to attract them to come to Japan. That's our best main scope. And so that's, after that, a person from the Japanese embassy will, of course, present all the official program of the scholarships. Then we have other events. We have, this is, for example, we visit many universities. I have to teach at the Faculty of Law, and I'll have many contacts, medicine, economics, management. So we visit all those universities, and we are able to gather lots of students, and again, to promote the official program of the scholarship. We have this event, which is not connected apparently. It's called Iberanime, but they are able to gather 35,000 people in one single weekend. This is a different, it's a kind of festival they have, pop culture. They have also classical culture in this event, but we could not miss this opportunity to gather so many students, so many young people mainly, that it's a good way to promote our scholar program. For example, we have lots of activities related to the traditional Japanese culture, and again, it attracts many, many students. So then we have the lunch parties, and here we have a problem. People in your organization, so you don't. I have to bribe them with sushi. If I have sushi in these events, people also show up. I hate it, but it's true. So we have to, these lunch parties organized by the Japanese embassy too, we have an opportunity to present the official program to all those people. And I should say, just a second please, that as part of our mission here, we do something which may be very practical. We know that now in Japan, many tourists have problems visiting the country. We don't like tourists, we love travelers. That's what we want here. So we prepare them to come to Japan. Japan has become a very popular destination in Portugal, I think all over the world, right? And our travelers cannot make mistakes here. So we prepare them, mainly we teach them the don'ts more than the do's. And so we give kind of a good background, cultural background for them to feel more comfortable here and not to make those mistakes they do. So we created for all of them a travel etiquette based on the knowledge we have from the Japanese culture. Because that's incredible. I don't know, but in Portugal, everyone comes to Japan on holiday. It's indeed a very popular destination. So we have here a different targets, and it's like an investment, I think a promising investment. We have now to go to high schools to prepare these very young people for the official program of the embassy scholarship. So we are investing a lot in them. Hopefully they will benefit from that. So you go to high schools, we teach them a little bit the language, this is a workshop, and the same system. We have a student from Kyoto, again, live from Japan, telling what it's like to be here, and then the Japanese diplomat will officially present the program to those students. Then we finally have one event which is closely related to a scholar. And the thing is, they focus on the academic field, the professional career, things they had studied in Japan, and the embassy invites many businessmen from different sectors of society, and that's a direct event between what a scholar studied in Japan and how he or she is applying it at the moment. So that's what we tried also to do there. About our objectives, you see, that's the kind of thing I normally organize. Again, if people see food, they are more enthusiastic, right? It's terrible. Don't you have this problem? You do? But it's successfully, it's a good way to present the Japanese culture more actively, and which gives more motivation for them. So, but we have here problems, and as also Stephanie was able to say, it's quite difficult to work with people on these as volunteers, you see? And so we're trying to, I opened that association, JAPAC, to the whole society. And not only scholars, in my case, a chat participant, can be a member of this association. Everyone who loves Japan, everyone who has lived here, and are able and welcome to join us, and as long as they are willing, in fact, to share the experiences they've had in Japan, and mainly to promote the Japanese culture. So that's what we've done so far. Thank you.
アルメイダさん、ありがとうございました。元留学生の方だけじゃなくて、元ジェットの方などが協力して活動を行っているすごいモデルケースだと思いました。どうもありがとうございます。それでは、アルメイダさんの、プレゼンに対しては、ネパールからお越しの、バッタライさんからコメントいただきます。よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you. Thank you, Pedro, for your excellent presentation. I have a small question. What's the number of members in your alumni?
So how many members?
How many members?
Do I have to answer that? No, not many, not many. And actually now, because I was the president last year, so I'm trying to change things in the sense that I want more commitment. But again, it's a pity because our scholars, they do not go back to Portugal, and they just go around the world, and it's so difficult for me to gather those people. For example, last year we had a good event, and some of them were in New Zealand, New York, and we were able to communicate using Zoom, but not many.
So, given that the smaller number base in the organization, similar question I want to ask, as I asked to Stephanie, that would you interested be make a regional kind of cluster with
Yes.
your neighboring countries to organize activities? So that will be maybe Portugal, Switzerland, and other countries.
Indeed.
What do you think this possibility of that one?
We'd like, at least in our region, and when I say region, I'm talking about Portugal, Spain, France, and Italy. And I even had a few ideas today, so that we can invite each other, even to visit our countries. I have this idea that would be a wonderful way to develop our, and more, in a very good way, our own associations. That's what I try to do, actually. I'll propose that, at least.
Thank you.
Actually, of course, it's easier to travel in Europe. So Switzerland and England, get ready for a good visit, you see. That could be a good result of this conference today. Again, thank you so much for the efforts to join us all here today. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。他に質問ある方は大丈夫ですか？すみません。じゃあもう一度お座りいただいてすみません。どうぞよろしくお願いします。バッタライさんよろしくお願いします。
So, yes, please.
It's okay, thank you. Yeah.
もう大丈夫ですか？コメント。
Okay, I'll go.
ごめんなさい。じゃあヤサルさんごめんなさいどうぞ。
So, how many scholarships are usually offered by the Japanese embassy for the new students to come to Japan?
So actually, I don't have that number. I was not given that number because I told you I was just this year the president, and as I belong to the JET program, that information was not. I have some numbers though. Oh, not connect anymore, maybe.
I can share an idea. Like one thing you could do is that maybe sometimes to promote the association, what you can do is to get people to talk about the amazing stuff they do in Japan. And one of the best ways to do that could be that you could attract people who want to go to Japan for studies next, and invite even a few people who've stayed in Japan and done activities. And if they're able to communicate, what they did in Japan, this will bring back memories to them. And they'll work better with you as alumni. What do you think?
The problem is, that's why I'm going to, I'll have a meeting with the Portuguese embassy in Lisbon, and they never tell me how many people come to Japan. You see, it will change. So if I'm quite aware of the number of, those people are from the very beginning, then I can have control of them. Otherwise, it's too difficult, you see.
And there's a second idea too. I know a number of people from Europe who travel to Japan not for a whole degree, but for part of the degree.
Indeed.
Like they come for as a research student and stay engaged with the Japanese university for 1 to 2 years. And given the specialized facilities, they come many times, right? So maybe that could be another aspect which you could popularize in the university, and that could be an entry point to start to increase the number of people. That's one idea.
Indeed, we have many interchange programs in Europe, and they're not that long. So people normally do that. To Japan, for example, the Faculty of Medicine told me it will be a huge difficulty for them to be in those programs for being too long. So, but at first, I want to tell the Japanese embassy in Lisbon, they are lovely, to really inform me right at the beginning. That could probably make a good difference.
For a research student, you could even apply directly. There's a direct program with the universities as well. So just an idea. That could work too.
Thank you for that. So no more questions? Oh, yes. Thank you a lot for that. Yes, please.
I have a suggestion actually.
Sure.
So every year, 2 times in June and November, there is a welcome event organized by JASO with collaboration of MEXT and MSA. And we have a list of all the students who come to Japan. And we can share it with you happily.
Please do so. I will be most grateful.
I have a suggestion for the MOFA, if possible. Is it okay? Okay. So one suggestion is that to promote Japan in countries from where there is not a lot of people going for scholarships, maybe we could have seminar focused towards those countries any time in the year. And if MOFA would support it, I think that many of us will be happy to contribute to this kind of session so that we can increase the popularity of Japanese scholarships by showcasing achievements of people who've studied in Japan, and what opportunity lies there for other students who would like to come to Japan. What do you think?
日本語で話しますけれども
お願いします
ありがとうございます。はい、一つには、スタディインジャパンっていうイベントが日本ではなくて世界のいろいろなところで、文部科学省メクストがメクストとその、大学とそして大使館総領事館が一緒になってやるスタディインジャパンというのがあります。でもうそれは、毎年毎年日本にぜひ留学してください。日本は今少子化、高齢化社会を迎え少子化です。大学もサバイブできるかという大変クリティカルな側面フェーズを迎えていますので、 スタディインジャパン、日本にぜひ留学してくださいというイベントをもう世界各地でやっています。ただ今おっしゃったように、日本で今いらっしゃる方々を集めてするというイベントは確かにもしかしたらなかったかもしれないので、ちょっと考えさせていただきたいと思います。
I try to propose to the mixed.
ヤサルさん、貴重なプロポーザルをいただきありがとうございました。
So, sure, I can go now.
他に質問がなければ
Shall I stay a bit longer, just in case?
他にアルメイダさんに質問ある方が、コメントある方いらっしゃいますか？大丈夫そうですので、アルメイダさん、それではどうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
皆様、プレゼンありがとうございました。これで対面の参加者の方のプレゼンは終わりましたので、オンラインで参加いただいている方からコメントいただきたいと思います。今日は昨年、この帰国留学生総会に対面で参加いただいた、コスタリカの、エリック・マウリシオ・ブレネス・マタさんからコメントいただきたいと思います。エリックさん、今つながってますでしょうか？お待たせしておりすみません。ちょっとエリックさんが今うまくつながってみたいで、ちょっともう一度呼びかけたいと思います。エリックさんいらっしゃったら、Zoom の挙手の機能でお知らせいただければと思いますが。では先に、総括セッションとかフリーディスカッションに入って、でまたちょっとエリックさんに呼びかけていらっしゃるかどうか確認したいと思いますので、まずは、この第1部のテーマに関して自由にコメントや戻って前の方のプレゼンに質問などある方いらっしゃったら自由にご発言いただければと思います。どなたかいらっしゃいますか？じゃあすみません、先に小室室長からコメントいただきたいと思います。小室室長お願いします。
はい、皆様改めまして本当にありがとうございました。日本語の方が簡単なんで日本語にします。まずパキスタンの、ヤサルさんのプレゼンテーションですけれども、本当にいろいろな活動をされているということに、大変感銘を受けました。で特にその日本に来て、ある意味どうやって生活していこうかというかですね、細かいところ、生活の細かいところでいろいろな疑問不安を抱えていらっしゃる留学生の方々にもですね、なんていう手を差し伸べというかその方々との関係性を作って、その会にのメンバーとして活躍していただく最初のステップを作っておられるということも非常に印象的でしたし、日本にいる間に、もちろんその文化的な活動、パキスタンの文化を紹介するということもされていたということが印象的でした。で本国に戻ってもいろいろされているので経済的にフ ファイナンシャルどうしてるのかなと思って質問があって、で一つにはもちろんボランタリーベーシスであるということと、それから日本であれば日本であればですね、さまざまな料理教室やったりしてちょっとした経費を集めていたということも伺って印象的でした。そして大使館とも協力してやっていらっしゃるのかなということも思ったんですけども、それから日本語のスピーチコンテストも関係されているということですが、一つこれは新しいニュースアドバイスではないんですけれども、日本のアニメが好きな方々たくさんいると思うんですね。で実はブラジルのサンパウロでブラジル日本語センターという日本語の教師を養成するセンターがあるんですが、そのセンターが主催でこの前アニメのアフレココンテストっていうのをやったんです。グループ作って特定のアニメについて皆さんが声優さんになってアフレコをする。これはなかなか面白い取り組みだと思うんで、日本語スピーチコンテストもされているということなので、一つの新しい取り組みイニシアティブとしてちょっとご紹介をしたいなと思いました。まずバーッとちょっと話してしまう。でもはいコメントあればどうぞ。
とても面白いアイデアですね。ぜひこれのために頑張ります。はい。
ありがとうございます。から次ははい、スイスのステファニー・サンチさん、いろいろななんていうんですかね、チャレンジというか、例えば言葉が日本から戻ってきた皆様の言葉が実は共通言語が違うっていうこともなかなか大変だなと思いましたし、それからですねどこだっけな、割とアカデミックな方々が多いんだなということが分かりました。でおっしゃる通り、会員をいかにエンゲージするか、会員同士がいかに仲良くなるかっていうのが一つの課題なんだろうなと思ったんですけれども、もう一つ他の方々の活動を聞いていて思ったのは、一緒に何かをやるっていうことも活動の幅を広げることなのかなと。でそれがスピーチコンテストなのか、文化の紹介なのか、または先ほどペドロさんがおっしゃったように高校を訪問してみるとか、何かを一緒にやるっていうことも会員の関係性を深めることにつながるのかなと思った次第です。それで、先ほどわーっと聞いていて思ったのがそうですね、活動を、活発化させるためにはもちろん会員同士の関係性の強化、個人的な関係性の強化もありますし、日本企業、それから大学とのなんて言うんでしょう、関係性を作ることによって、もしかしたらファイナンシャリーにも何かうまくいくことがあるかもしれないですし、進出しようとしている日本の企業やそれから大学の方々は現地にいらっしゃる日本を知っている方々との関係性があると、多分すごく役立つんじゃないかなと思うので、企業とか大学、そして今申し上げたようにですね、面白いなと思う、すみません、面白いって変ですね。ポルトガルのペドロ先生がおっしゃったのは、日本に旅行しに行く方々へのアドバイスをするような取り組みをされたと。でそれも日本に行った時に役に立つ取り組みなのかなと。で日本を知ってもらう、日本を好きになってもらう方々がたくさん増えることが、ジャパンフレンズが増えることが 私たち日本の特に日本の外交ですけれども国民にとっても大変重要なことであると思いますので、そういったことをやってみて、会員同士の関係性も深まるし、それから日本に行く人にとっての役に立つということもあるかなと。で先ほどもう一回申し上げましたけれども、これから日本に行きたい方々の関心をジャッキするっていう意味では大学に訪問するとか、それからさらに若い高校生のところに行ってこういうプログラムがあるんだよっていうようなことをお知らせる。多分高校ぐらいですと地理ジオグラフィーでその海外の国について学ぶような科目があるんじゃないかなと思うんですね。で私もブラジルにいた時に高校生の地理でいろんな大使館がその国について1時間ぐらい話すみたいな取り組みの中で日本を紹介するというようなことをやりました。したがってどこの高校でっていうのはもう皆様のネットワークだと思うんですけれども、そういったことをちょっとやってみるとか、活動を続けていくためにはなんて言うんでしょう、ただ会ってるそのパーティーじゃないんですけど、そのミーティングするだけではなかなか難しいところがあるのかなと実は思っておりまして、何かを一緒にやるということで会員の間の関係が深まるのかなというふうにちょっと思ったところでございます。そうですね、私がバーッと聞いてて思ったコメントとはそうですね。で留学生、文部科学省の留学生の選考プロセスにいかに関わるかということでパキスタンのやつさんの方では結構関わって選考に貢献してくださってるということは本当に感謝申し上げますし、大使館によっていろいろな選考プロセスがあって、すでにインタビュアーとかも決まっているっていうところもあるでしょうから、ぜひ皆さんやってくださいって今私はここで申し上げることはなかなか難しいんですけれども、大使館とぜひ仲良くしてというか関係性を作っていただいて、自分たちは協力する用意があるよっていうことをお伝えいただけますと、大使館の方でも皆様との連携協力がさらに図れるのではないかなと思った次第です。すいません、ちょっとさみだれとめどもないコメントですけれども、お話を伺っていていろいろ思ったことは以上になります。ペドロさん、コスタリカさんはいらっしゃってないじゃないですか。室長のコメントに対するコメントを聞いてみたいな。
小室室長ありがとうございました。ちょっとまだエリックさんいらっしゃってないみたいなので、今ガーナのアルマさんお願いします。
Sorry. Yes, I just wanted to ask one present question. In developing countries like Ghana, who are just moving up, I think it is not only the university education, and that it's more of the professional things. And one of the big issues is probably recycling, and then we can learn a lot from Japan and all those places. The scholarship scheme is such that it goes to the scholarship secretariat, and their focus is mostly in the universities and then the other places. JICA provides the technical things, but the technical programs it provides is through the governmental circles, through the government circles. But in the districts where these activities are needed most, so that people can do their own work and cut down on unemployment, it's difficult to assess that. So I was just asking you, I was just trying to find out, do we have a special channel where people in the informal sector who are not part of the government can also access some of these technical and livelihood fields, technical and livelihood support in terms of the technical activities? I just wanted to know. Not only the universities, but probably somebody probably want to do some shoemaking processes, even what ordinary welding processes to enhance whatever they do. They are the critical things that we need to move forward.
はい、ありがとうございます。今私自身はその JICA さんや経済協力の担当をしてはいませんので、ちょっとその私のコメントは個人的なパーソナルなコメントになりますけれども、まずガーナには JICA さんの事務所があるかどうかご存知ですか？ありますかね。事務所があれば、そこの事務所が、いろいろな研修のプログラムの募集をして候補者を送るということになるんですね。でそのインフォーマルセクターの方々がじゃあどうやってそのアクセスにするかというところはまさにちょっとその JICA のガーナ事務所が、その、課題にアドレスすることが大事で、その JICA さんが、個人からの応募で、研修生を選んでいるのか、そのガーナの政府が選んだ人を受け入れているのか、そのプロセスが私ちょっと知らないのではっきりとしたことが今言えないところはあるんですけれども、アルマさんは、今お仕事はあれですよね、大学の医学研究をされてるんですよね。そうしましたら、一つにはそのガーナ事務所、ガーナの JICA 事務所にこういう問題があってっていうことを持ってお話しするのと、ガーナの政府外務省と話して、どうやってインフォーマルセクターの人たちにその研修の機会を与えるのかという問題提起をされることからちょっと始める必要があるのかなって。もう一つすみません、JICA の多分研修生はOG、OB がたくさんいらっしゃるんじゃないかなと思うので、もし彼らがその JICA のアルミニの研修会を持っていれば、そことこの帰国留学生の方々の会がぜひ何て言うんでしょうか、連携してほしいなというふうに思っていまして、自分は国費留学生だ、自分は JICA だ、で AOTS っていうのもあると思うし、自分は AOTS っていうのを分けてやるのではなくて、ぜひ皆さんで日本を支えていってほしいなと思うもんですから、もし JICA のアルミニがあれば、ちょっとそこと外務省に言われたと、日本に行って日本の外務省にもうコンタクトして、そのコミュニケーションぜひやってくれって頼まれたというですねことをおっしゃっていただいて、お話をしていただいたらいいんじゃないかなとちょっと思う次第です。すいません、何かあればちょっと
ありがとうございます。
アルマさん、コメントありがとうございました。他にコメントある方いらっしゃいますでしょうか。大丈夫ですか。どうぞパキスタンからお越しのヤサルさん、どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。とてもいろいろな新しいアイディア出てきますね。そしていろいろなアドバイスをありがとうございます。皆さんの何かコンディションは、ソサエティのコンディションは別々の国によって違うなコンディションがありますね。それで例えば国によってたくさんの新しい学生たちが日本に行きたい。例えばパキスタンとかネパールとかはそうだと思いますけど、あと他の国々にたくさんの他のオポチュニティ、例えばヨーロッパの場合は多分ヨーロッパの中に何かたくさんのスコラシップとかオポチュニティがあって、なぜ日本まで行ってその活動化するかとか、そういうの考えは学生たちもちろん考えようになりますね。それで別々なストラテジーによって何かどういうようなストラテジー、どういうの国のためにいいと思いますか。
まず日本は東アジアにあるわけですけれども、この留学生の招聘は全世界グローバルにやるというもうその基本的なポジションがあります。国によって日本への興味が多い高い国もあればそうではない国もあって、その状況を、その募集枠にそれは反映しています。なので国によって違うんですが、その数は公表していないはずなので今ちょっと私からは言えないんですけれども、それは国によってやっぱり差がある。ただ割と毎年同じぐらいの枠を枠の募集をしています。そして今こちらにいらっしゃらない東南アジアは割ともう私費で来られるっていう方がすごく増えていて、関心も高いけれどもその国費留学生の数を使わずにもう自分たちで来られるとか、それから大学が募集するものもあって、それは大使館は関わらずに直接やっているというのもありますね。でまず国によって状況は違うんですけれども、一番の基本的なポジションは全世界から呼ばないということではなく呼ぶということでやっていまして、そうなるとやっぱりその数が決まっているので、その国の数で割っていくとやっぱある程度限られてしまうっていうちょっと現実があるかなと思いました。
ありがとうございます。とても面白いです。いろいろ勉強になりました。もう一つのアイディアがあります。例えば別々の国々の日本で勉強している人たちの協会がありますけど、でもメキシコの何かスコラーズアソシエーションがあったらいろいろな活動を一緒にしている感じなんですね。それと同じようにメキシコエロムナイのそういうアソシエーションは必要でしょうか？何かいろいろな活動、何か世界的に考えるために、例えば全世界的に考えるために、今は別々のエルムナイアソシエーションは別々の国に頑張ってますね。とリージョンのための何かそのパキスタンとネパールとかインドとかの一緒に働いているそのサフジュアもありますけど、でも全国的のそういうのアソシエーションとかがあった方がいいですか？どう思いますか？
今またやっぱり私がなんて言うんでしょう、言うことはちょっとパーソナルな意見になりますけれども、であとやろうと思った時にはじゃあ予算はどうするのかっていうこととかいろいろあると思うんですが、ジェットプログラムは3年に1回総会をしています。世界中のだから国の代表の方が集まって今年ジェット AA 総会があって、皆さん集まってディスカッションしていました。私もそれに参加したんです。でなかなか予算がないといきなり何かするっていうのは難しいかもしれないですが、今例えばオンラインもありますし、もちろん時差もあることはありますけれども、オンラインで何かそういうことをするというのも非常にインタレスティングな
面白いですね。
お話かなと思って。
ぜひ参加したいですと、何か日本の文化にとても興味があって、私は日本以外にスコラーシップに申し込んだことがないんですね。 なので、ぜひ日本へ行きたいと考えて頑張ってました。日本に行った時にもいろいろ文化交流の活動頑張ってましたね。合気道も習ってました。2年間合気道習いましたね。宮城県武道館でメンバーになってます。何かそれでこういうのイニシアティブがあれば、ジェットとかのイニシアティブも何か頑張っているところがありますね。その中に何か参加するの協会があれば、ぜひ頑張りたいので、ぜひその情報とかぜひお願いします。すいません。
ありがとうございます。また私どもにとっても新たな展望がいただけたように思いますので、引き続き相談をしながら、はい、協力していければと思います。ありがとうございます。
Can I say from my side? So actually now we are working as of course with the morpher and also the mixed, and also maybe as you know, a lot of alumni maybe now is struggling with like connecting each others. Even morpher and mixed, and also JICE, JICA, and also JET program as well. And also these organizations always ask me, so how we should connect each other and also gather the budget and also contact as well. And now is we strive to build but integrating the communities. And now is we are now building the online platform to connect each other, not only the mixed scholars, but also another the alumni from each sectors. And then now actually now is trying to get the budget from SMEs and also Japan traditional companies, the big ones. And but now is just we started, and now is we actually launch that platform this month. So now is try to get the budget from the companies, and then I hope I will contribute to activities, and also of course now it's current students as well, and now we help we actually do connect to each other, not only you guys and also current students and alumni. So I hope I contribute to your activities. Sorry, it's my from side.
Thank you. That's very nice. And I also try to, as I mentioned, with Toyota, we also made some presentations. And I also recently went to Toyota, the central office in Karachi, and met with the CEO and others. So if there's any opportunity to work together, please let us know. And I think that all of us would like to contribute, with you. Yeah.
So, Madam Speaker, absolutely right about it. It's very hard to do a lot of things offline because of limitations and restriction, but we can definitely do things online. My opinion is this, that when the student applying for Max Scholarship or any other scholarship in Japan, they definitely go to the Japanese Ministry of their country homepage. So maybe on that page somewhere, if your registered and non-registered organization mention, it will be very nice, and also the activities as well. And second, in Japan official website of the MAXT, if we can show one page where all the registered organization all over the world, they are there, it's very, very good and beneficial as well. So because this way it's automatically connecting online, and it also give a really good, effect on our future network and the current network. And one more suggestion for Mr. Irma. So as you know that, I think you mentioned the sustainable solution of regarding garbage, or maybe you're right. So it's very hard to work with the government side because sometimes the process is extremely slow. So maybe you can work with the Japanese companies and the Ghana international students in Japan. So these students can go to the factories of the garbage disposal and the shoemaking factory and take a workshop, and then they go back to their country and give that kind of knowledge to their people. That's much more beneficial. I mean, that's my basic idea. Thank you so much.
And I think you'd be happy to know that we just got a message from the president of the Alumni Association in India. And on the software, and he is watching the proceedings, so he's very much appreciating.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
シテサマニーさんどうぞ。
Hi, arigatou gozaimasu. Omura-san, I'm very happy to hear about the planned platform. I remember we talked about it during your visit 2 years ago, so this makes me very delighted. And it's for two reasons, because we talk about Japan and we talk about Japan abroad, but I think we also create like a third Japan in between us alumni, where we, I encourage my students to develop the cultural knowledge, the cultural language, responsibility as well, to kind of make this, become sustainable citizens, right, that can work both ways. And I just wanted to share one anecdote. I briefly wanted to talk to you earlier about it. So, for example, I have a student, she's really interested in Japanese architecture, but she's not able to go to Japan at this moment, so she reached out to me if I knew anyone in the UK that would have expertise in that field, traditional Japanese architecture. And so this platform would allow this kind of connection, that I could ask you or one of your colleagues if they knew anyone in that direction. I think this is incredibly helpful, and I'm really grateful for it. Thank you very much.
ステファニーさん、ありがとうございました。ちょっとエリックさんはまだいらっしゃってないみたいなんですけれども、一昨年にこの総会にお越しになった、インドのアショクさんからコメントがありますという、コメントが来ておりまして、急遽ではあるんですけど、例えば今つなげられたらアショクさんからコメントいただければなと思うんですけど、アショクさん、今オンラインでコメントいただくこと可能でしょうか。急に申し訳ありませんが。
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have been listening very carefully to this excellent get-together. I think the director has already summarized the key points. Let me just reiterate two things. One is the idea of having alumni associations in Japan, like they have Pakistan Students Association. The SAFJUA members are constantly having online meetings, and we are physically meeting in Nepal this November. So we'll pick up this idea that the foreign students from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, so on, in Japan should form their own associations. So that would, in fact, become a mirror to SAFJUA in Japan. So that is one point which is, I think, we'll follow up. The second point is, which comes out from Switzerland's presentation, that is that the scholarship on Japan is international. And I think we are trying in India, MOSAI, to create an international network. We have created an international work on scholars who study, let's say, India-Japan connections. And I think it will be very good to see if, incidentally, our network is also called Kizuna network, like Switzerland. So I think this Kizuna type of networks, which is a scholars network, is the idea worth pursuing. Because so far we are kind of concentrating, most of us are concentrating on education per se. But I think this scholarship in studying in Japanese studies is another type of activity which the MEX scholarship associations can take up. So I will continue to join these discussions in the next sessions. And I think this has been very useful for not only my association, but I think for SAFJUA as such. The last point I would like to make is that we are trying very hard to get scholars from South Asian countries into our study network. But somehow the cross-fertilization between South and Southeast Asia is becoming a little bit of sort of, we are not able to go ahead. So I think at some stage, we may like to focus on sort of connection between South and Southeast Asian associations. This is just a suggestion for Gaimusho to think in terms of a small brainstorming between South Chua and its counterpart. Thank you so much.
アショクさん、突然のお願いにもかかわらずコメントいただきましてありがとうございました。それでは他に最後にどうしても発言やりたいっていう人いれば、ありますか？大丈夫ですか？どうぞ。じゃあパキスタンからお越しヤサルさん、どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。とても面白いセッションでいろいろなアイディアありまして、本当にいろいろ勉強になりました。特にダイレクターさんがいろいろな新しいアイディアを何か教えましたので、ぜひいろいろな頑張りのために何か大事になります。あと皆さんの発表の中から、あとスタフニーさんと、あとペドロさんと、あと皆さんのいろいろなコメントでいろいろな新しい何かことが出てきましたので、そしてジャピーと、あとメクステルナアソシエーションといろいろな何か頑張り、新しい情報、新しい方法、何かニューダイレクションズを頑張りたいと思います。ありがとうございます。
ヤサルさん、素晴らしいまとめコメントいただきましてありがとうございます。
下手な日本語ですけど、すいません。
とんでもないです、とんでもないです。じゃあちょっと時間早いんですけど、他にコメントがなければ第一部終了したいと思いますが、最後にコメントある方、大丈夫ですかね。はい、どうぞ、すいません、スジャータさんどうぞ。
So, Mr. Ashok just said that it's really important for Southeast Asia to develop more better way. Similarly, other European countries association should be, like developed and work together. But there's a very one difficult thing when working together. If there is a conflict between one country, the government actually, not supporting in this case. So if these organizations work independently as a private organization, that's way much better, because once the government align and any conflict happen to these countries, it's very difficult. For example, in India, there is a university named South Asian University, which is all the university, including Pakistan, Afghanistan, and this and that. So if a conflict happened in neighboring country, government not allowing their students to come to India and study in that university. So avoiding such situations, I think it would be better that these organizations work independently and privately to get more, collaborations and thank you so much.
スジャータさんありがとうございました。それでは第一部終わりたいと思います。ありますか？ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
I can pick up from there. And I really feel the pain. You're very true in that. And when we are studying abroad, like when I was here in Japan as well, I'm sure you must be feeling here too. I think that Indians and Pakistanis are the closest of friends. Like when we are, studying together, because we share the same language, we share the same culture. It's almost indistinguishable to see the difference in food and stuff. So, but when it comes to, for example, the political situations in the country, a lot of things are more difficult. So I think that what brings us together is the, the love for Japan, the Japanese culture, and our experience of studying here in Japan. So if we build any association or any new activity on the foundation of the Japanese culture and the common things that we share with Japan, so whether it's online or in person or in whatever form, I think that has better chance to succeed. And as Director Komura also said, that we could have, for example, like we already have things like love for Japanese language, and we have competitions and stuff. There are a lot of other aspects of Japanese culture like anime and something. So if we could find, for example, different times in the year to organize activities related to one of the themes, and maybe find a way to bring people together, even for an online discussion. At least I would be thrilled to participate. And I think that maybe I resonate for everybody.
ヤサルさん、ありがとうございました。それではどうしましょう。はい。それでは、今度こそ第1部終了したいと思います。皆さんありがとうございました。第2部は、14時、午後2時から始めたいと思います。それでは皆さんプレゼンしてくださった皆さんもコメントいただいた皆さんもどうもありがとうございました。